Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. Today has been an incredible whirlwind of events, and the morning has just blew up. Around 7 o'clock, 7 a.m., Twitter started going nuts. And if you are in the know, you know why. Justice League social media embargo has been lifted for the people, the bloggers, and maybe I think some of them are actually critics who got to see the movie were able to tweet about it. And I gotta tell you, it is mostly positive, and that is great. I mean, don't you love it? I know I've said that your own opinion matters, not anybody else, but doesn't it feel good to anticipate a movie that seems like everybody else likes? I think so. So, in honor and commemoration of that, my son actually is dressed with a Superman shirt, and I thought it was just cute and kind of a way to celebrate today. But I'm going to go right now to where Batman News was able to put a bunch of these critics' tweets all together. I'm going to read a few of them. Sean Gerber, Justice League is a fun blockbuster that is entertaining enough to overcome its flaws. The team works well together to deliver more than a few spectacular superhero moments worth seeing on the big screen. Maybe not quite what some hoped, but definitely not what many feared. Mark Hughes from Forbes, Justice League was good and very fun. It's going to be popular with audiences, not only fans, but mainstream viewers and families. Paul Shirey, Justice League is fun, bumpy ride that succeeds in character but fails in narrative. It's a mixed bag of execution that's saved by the actors who rise above the shortcomings to deliver an engaging, funny, and hopeful yet flawed entry to the DCEU. Peter Serreta of /Film, Justice League is better than expected, but not a home run. The interaction between the teams is a lot of fun. The film sends the DCU into a hopeful direction in line with where the brand should be headed. Flash and Aquaman steal the show. Cyborg and Villain are the weak links. Now, some of these people here, especially Peter Serreta, they're not really the fans of the older DCEU films, the ones before Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, So it's kind of interesting to see them actually kind of turn around towards Justice League. Jermaine Luzier, I don't know, that's how you say his name. Justice League! It's okay. Narratively, it's a mess. The stakes don't work and the villain isn't great. However, the heroes are great. It's funny and there's some surprisingly effective character work. I didn't love it, but there are enough good pieces to excite me for the future. Brandon Davis, Justice League is not a perfect movie. It has story flaws and a simple CGI villain, but more importantly, it gets the heroes right. Every member of the league is fantastic and it's tough to choose a favorite. It's a ton of fun start to finish. Later on he tweeted, by the way, I love Justice League. So Dennis Zhang, Justice League was entertaining for a good portion of the time, though thin on storytelling and character development. There's more fun, humor, and heart than BVS, but it also feels very rushed with some scenes given zero time to develop. Aaron Sagers, so I saw Justice League twice, still under embargo, but this is a fun superhero flick. Funny, but still hero adventure. Reminds me of Justice League Unlimited episode. Likeable interaction amongst recognizable heroes. There is a villain problem. No worse than Marvel's. Jenna Bush. I saw Justice League. Here's what I thought. There are a ton of things I changed, but it comes down to this. I had a blast. I got to see the team together. I had fun watching it. Ezra Miller steals the movie and Wonder Woman was perfect. Nate Braille, Justice League is the DC team-up you've been waiting for. I had so much fun from beginning to end. The expansion of DC mythology will make fans go nuts. Superman, though, and that's what I'm really waiting for. Terry Schwartz, I am genuinely happy to report Justice League is a lot of fun. It's not perfect and it has its problems, but the job of making you care about these characters as a team by its end, it's also very funny in a lot of unexpected ways. Jim Vigivoda, whatever his name is. Justice League is okay. It's fun, the characters are enjoyable, and cast has good chemistry together. I want to see more from them down the line. It looks like Snyder film, but sounds and plays like a Whedon one. It has lots of issues though, and that I'll get into what the review embargo lifts sometime next week. But the good news is that Justice League entertains. If BVS turns you off, then consider J.L. Palek. Kevin McCarthy, bottom line, Justice League is awesome. Zack Snyder's film is filled with so many moments that had me geeking out and crying nerd tears. When an action scene hero moment hits, the film is firing on all cylinders. Still love Affleck's Batman, my fave Batman actor since Keaton. As with BVS, I did have certain issues, but they weren't big enough to ruin my overall experience. I'll expand more when I do my full review. Love Ezra Miller and Jason Momoa. I love that each character has equally amazing hero moments, well balanced, simple, fun. Connor Schwarzenegger, I am totally ruined that name. Justice League is clunky and uneven as hell, but it also gets the characters right and has a lot of fun along the way. When it's over DC's visions for these heroes going forward will make sense. It's a very small but very vital step forward. I dug it. So interesting about this guy though, I'm going to click on here. Weirdly enough, Justice League actually feels more like one of the animated DC films from recent years than any live action DC film that we've seen thus far. How you take that will depend on your opinion of DC animation. Justice League War. If it's anything like this, and especially the action scenes and how they talk to each other, I love it. This is one of my favorite DC animated movies, and if that's an indication for me, in my own humble opinion, in my own subjectiveness, that screams out to me that I'm probably going to dig a lot of these elements of this film. Jon Schnepp, man, Jon Schnepp is very weird. I saw Justice League and it's a bumpy, amazing, uneven, bizarre wet clay event. The Flash and Wonder Woman stand out. It's a good start. Don't know what to make of that. So, but the ones that I want to really call out is Roxy Striar, and she is also Mike Kalinowski, who really dug the movie as well, and all these other three also dug the movie. She says, I saw Justice League and it's really good. Strong film. Wonder Woman did her amazing thing. Batman came to play. Cyborg is a star. Aqua made me pumped for his film. The pacing is perfect. Zack and Joss blended together well. Oh, and you're gonna want to stay until the very end because there are two post credits. I think what they mean is the mid credit scene, and there's probably one towards the end. Hopefully the one towards the end is actually well worth the wait, not like how recently Marvel has made just a small little joke at the end and it's not really worth the wait. You know, I want to be that impact, just like Kong Skull Island, when at the end of the credits you get to see a little bit of Godzilla, if you will. So I want to see some of that back. I want to see something that's really worth at the end. But there have been a lot. I mean, I've retweeted a lot of them. If you go to my tweets, there's been quite a few. I've attended a live video from Film Gop. Shaker actually put out a pretty cool live chat thing, and I've been interacting amongst trying to take care of my kids on Veterans Day. But it was fun. I had a blast. I had a blast listening to you guys and seeing some familiar people on that chat as well. And I think it's just a great day to celebrate that it's mostly positive. Now, what I can gather from all of this is that, so a lot of these top stories will say, you know, Justice League is fun, flawed, it's a mixed bag, but judging from some of these Twitter mini reviews, there is a general consensus here in that it's a entertaining with comedic elements. It seems to have the action scenes are brilliant, Zack Snyder-esque, and dialogue scenes Whedon-esque, and it blends in, melds together very nicely. And then the villain is weak. The villain is not as good as and they don't have any comparisons because like literally who would be a good villain? I would say in the DCEU, General Zod is an excellent villain. Lex Luthor comes right up to it, and only after you get past his weird quirkiness, but the way he plans things is actually pretty awesome in effect. And Marvel hasn't had any great villains. Their greatest villain, Loki, turned into a good guy. So it really depends on what people are really searching for in terms of a villain. But like Kevin Feige said, I know he's from Marvel, but like he said, that his movies are about the heroes. His focus is on the heroes. The villain is actually a backdrop, a plot device to bring these heroes together. And so this is what Justice League is probably doing, is that they're bringing heroes together to fight a bad guy. Not saying that is actually copying Marvel at all, but this is actually just a natural progression. Of course, the movie is going to be simple. It's going to be 2 hours. It's going to be simple. Get the team together, save the world, and that's really all we want to end a trilogy that deals with Superman. Right? This is the landing base. They finally got Superman lands, brings these heroes come surfacing out of nowhere. They need to come together to fight a common enemy, and then the universe explodes from here. This is comic book greatness. This is the step. This is just one of the steps into a larger universe. It just breaks it open. So I'm sure there's not going to be anything more complex than that. We're going to learn a lot more about Aquaman when Aquaman comes out. We know a heck of a lot about Wonder Woman already. We already know who Batman is. We've known what type of Batman this one is, and he's evolved. And it seems like he's evolved in this one. And man, Superman, I can't wait to see what is up. It seems like there's going to be a huge, big moment for him, and they don't want to talk about it, but I am hyped up. I cannot wait to see what happens in the movie. That will probably be my cheering moment, my brightest moment in the film. General consensus: it's a fun film. It's an exciting film. It's a superhero type film. It's a great comic book event. Go and watch it. That's what it tells me right now. Go out and watch it. I wasn't gonna anyway. But anyway, that's it. What do you guys think about those reactions? Comment down below. Let me know. And thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.